I've seen a lot of these reports from some of TradFi's biggest players. TradFi, not cryptocurrency. We are discussing Citi. We are discussing JP Morgan. We are discussing asset management firms. And based on all of these studies, we are beginning to see that the world's largest financial companies are predicting that, in addition to stable coins, which are already visible on the screen, we will see more over the next 3, 4, or even 5 years. The entire cryptocurrency space is about to explode in a far more significant way. The most important point, though, that many people are overlooking is that it won't be about particular assets. What does that signify? We are discussing cryptocurrency initiatives that are utility-based. Let's get right to the point and begin with this local bank projection. Stable coins will enter the mainstream economy and transcend cryptocurrency trading. According to a Citi Future Finance research, stable coins will probably replace some foreign and domestic US dollar holdings during the next 5 years. Very intriguing. Now, if we examine this, we have regulatory assistance. That's what we're genuinely examining here. All right? Imagine how successful utility-based cryptocurrency ventures in this field will be with regulatory certainty if we're seeing a lot of attention focused on how stable coins will succeed due to, regulatory support. According to the Citi's base case projection, however, we have stable coins that will increase to 1.66 trillion by 2030, with a more optimistic forecast of $3.7 trillion. A shift in stablecoin usage away from trading settlements or as an off-ramp trading instrument towards payments was seen by crypto custody company Fireblocks. Furthermore, when legal tailwinds permit the integration of fixed-value tokens into the mainstream economy, the stablecoin market may soon surpass the whole crypto trading environment that gave rise to it, according to estimates made by global bank Citi. The global head of finance for the future at the Citi is confirming this to us. It's crazy to watch this. We can learn all we need to know about these utility-based initiatives from the fact that we have confirmations like this and that stable coins will grow to their current size. And by that, what do I mean? In the event that stable currencies achieve accomplishment, it indicates that the underlying networks they are utilizing will also experience great success. Furthermore, we already know that Ripple is putting XRP and the XRPL in a position to support tokenization and institutional DeFi activities. Additionally, they have already introduced Roust on the XRP ledger. However, stablecoins are just one aspect of it. As I mentioned earlier, institutional adoption is rising dramatically across the board in the cryptocurrency field. As you are all aware, there have been numerous breakdowns within the past 3, 4, or 5 months. The institutional side is driving the further acceleration of cryptocurrency adoption. In addition to this, we go over what transpired recently. Rock and Black in order to discuss staking alternatives tokenization and even ETF approval standards. BlackRock, a $10 trillion asset manager, met with the SEC. Once more, considering the current state of affairs, Wall Street and other major financial institutions are swarming in to get ready and participate in particular cryptocurrency ventures. Additionally, retailers are still debating whether or not to be bullish. How insane is that? Now, if we look at this post from X, we can see that the SEC government has made a major advancement in tokenized securities. The US SEC is holding a major round tokenization event today, May 12th, where DeFi and Trady will meet at 1 p.m. to move assets on-chain. This follows Commissioner Hester Pierce's compelling comments about the importance of balanced, lighter touch regulation for innovation and how DT-based markets can lead to more equitable, effective access to capital and prosperity. To enable the issuance, trading, and settlement of RWAs on-chain, the SEC is now investigating regulatory sandboxes and conditional exemptions. This might ultimately lead to widespread adoption, providing investors and institutions with a secure, legal means of gaining access to tokenized assets that are liquid and have actual value. It's the change in infrastructure required to transfer trillions of dollars into markets based on blockchain technology. What's important about all of this is that we are beginning to see the biggest players give legitimacy to these initiatives like tokenization, and even though Wall Street and BlackRock are both present, there are a lot of other big players at this round table. We are watching Wall Street and the biggest financial giants as they flip the switch to tokenization and digital asset initiatives, utilizing DT and blockchain. This is a significant paradigm change. In addition to this, we now discuss a recent update that we received on May 9th, which was novel. In a $50 million funding agreement, Florida pharmaceutical company Logistics will employ XRP for real-time payments with the goal of reducing banking delays, FX costs, and increasing supply chain efficiency. Well, this doesn't really matter, you may remark. Yes, you might say that. However, when we consider the magnitude of this announcement, we turn to my post, wherein many in this field continue to wonder whether utility is a real concept or even if it has any meaning at all. It's clear that those individuals are either locked on the Bitcoin train or aren't seeing the wider picture. I included a lot of projects here, and many more will be very helpful. The true worth is shown after we move away from the hype and speculative value drivers and toward utility-based value drivers. In this field, you have to be a visionary. It's essential, particularly when combined with appropriate research. I'm excited about the future, particularly the one in which the world is powered by DTM blockchain. Well, Nick, you may reply, this means absolutely nothing. Once more, utility is being rewarded when we consider what is happening here. How are we aware? As an example, Franklin Templeton tokenized hundreds of millions of dollars on Stellar, guys. These institutional players are tapping into specific networks, and although they are only testing with a few $100 million at this time, I don't think it will be too long before we see billions of dollars flooding onto the chain, followed by trillions, which won't take long after the first few billion are released. What's even more bizarre about all of this is that we're entering a regulated age, and we look at this post, which shows that XRP has added nearly $100 billion since Ripple's first significant victory in the SEC case. Alright, the market capitalization changed by 235%. We also saw a 200% price change. This is strange to me since it comes just after their first big win in 2023. The news of the settlement agreement letter was something we received just now. When the SEC government eventually declares that this case is over, I wonder what will happen. However, since we're currently on a huge route towards institutional and business-grade adoption, I'm more excited about what comes next. For an institutional player, what does it mean to see that something like XRP has complete regulatory clarity and enormous utility value? We already know that XRP's utility side is very valuable because we've heard from Ripple and businesses that have tapped into it. Large banks have validated it through PC trials, according to what we've heard. People tend to underestimate the network implications that some of these on-chain markets will have, in my opinion. I'm examining the utility side from behind. Correct? Furthermore, it goes beyond XRP's effectiveness in transferring value globally. The XRP ledger, the underlying DT, is likewise incredibly effective. Use cases are exploding in the field, guys. Initiatives for yield generation, tokenization, FX market transactions, humanitarian help, and cross-border payments are all still in the early stages of adoption and use. We're commemorating more than $20 billion in tokenized assets on the blockchain. Guys, there are quadrillions of dollars in the entire adjustable market. Institutional adoption is accelerating when we consider what is taking place here. The market for stable coins is booming. Someone is tapping them in. The SEC is currently meeting with enormous financial behemoths to talk about tokenization, staking choices, and even ETFs. However, the primary issue here is that, at a time when they are getting ready to pull Wall Street on board, cryptocurrency is now on the public stage with the largest asset management firms, financial behemoths, and Wall Street itself. Utility needs to be prioritized because it is what will make XRP and many other fantastic utility-based initiatives in the market so valuable. What remains after the regulatory push will only be utility-based projects with tangible value. The time has come for you to formally pay heed to what some of these enormous giants are saying you and to lock in. It is quite important to pay attention to these reports. Having said that, I hope you all found this video entertaining. You are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord channel described below if you would like, subscribe, and enable notifications for more free content. Having said that, this is Nick, folks. Thank you for viewing. Goodbye.